Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the fifth section of Chapter 3. In this section, we'll talk about language. Language is yet another feature that is common to all cultures. As Haviland puts it, without our capacity for complex language, human culture, as we know it, could not exist. When you communicate with people from other countries, it is unlikely that they will have the exact same word or meaning in mind. The difference in thought sends shock throughout the communication process. All understanding, therefore, is at the same time a misunderstanding, and all agreement of feelings and thoughts is at the same time a means for growing apart. Language plays an important part in culture learning. Language is a reflection of culture environment and its values. As Winston Breimerbeck puts it, to know another's language and not his culture is a very way to make a fluent fool of one's self. So what's the relationship between language and culture? Language reflects culture, and that language and culture are closely linked. On the one hand, language is the expression of a particular culture, which is used as the main media through which culture is expressed. On the other hand, culture is one of the integral parts of a language. According to Geert Hofstede, culture is a system of inherited conceptions expressed in language, by means of which people communicate, perpetuate, and develop their knowledge and attitude toward life. We cannot be competent in the language if we do not understand the culture that has shaped and informed it. And we cannot learn a second language if we do not have the awareness of that culture and do not know how it is related to our own culture. According to Geert Hofstede, knowing a country's language, although clearly helpful, is no guarantee of understanding its culture mindset. And some of the most important problems has been created by individuals who have a high level of fluency but a low level of culture understanding. Moreover, members of a culture tend to assume that highly fluent visitors know the customs and rules of behavior, and these visitors are judged severely when violations occur. Now let's come to what's the relationship between language and communication. Language has been the most important device of human communication, and communication is the most fundamental social function of language. The goal of language teaching is to equip learners with the ability to use the language for communication. As we mentioned above, there are 4 kinds of language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, which will be used both in verbal and written communication. What's the relationship between culture and communication? Understanding human communication means knowing about what happens when people communicate, why it happened, to influence the result of communication. Culture governs and defines the circumstances under which various messages may or may not be sent or interpreted. Communication varies in different cultures, and both in the verbal communication and the non-verbal communication reflect the culture of a certain community. The relationship between communication and culture is crucial to the understanding of the intercultural communication.